more and more, the issue of whether you support Palestine or Israel has become the kind of virtue signaling dividing line. Lots and lots of young people in particular, obviously asinine airhead celebrities in particular. It's all Israel bad, Palestine good. It's black and white to them, and it's a lot more complicated than that. What's worrying me now, the Hay Literary Festival has been beset by a sort of celebrity boycott because one of its sponsors is a company called Baillie Gifford. They're an investment management firm and they invest in Israel. As such, Charlotte Church, of course, has pulled out. Nish Kumar, the alleged comedian, I'm sure that huge sighs of relief all over the Hay Festival that Nish Kumar won't be boring them to death with his unfunny routine. Also various politicians, Dawn Butler, Baroness Shami Chakrabarti, economics author Grace Blakely, they've all pulled out because Baillie Gifford is one of the sponsors of the Hay Festival, and they have the temerity to invest in Israel. So as such, now it looks to me as if as far as I can work out in the manner of these things, I'm afraid that the Hay Festival has buckled and has severed links with Baillie Gifford. So they've done what they're told. So if you're not careful, anybody going to the Hay Festival, if you're not careful, Nish Kumar might be there after all, and you wouldn't like that, would you? Let's talk to the editor of the Jewish Telegraph, Paul Harris. Hello, Paul.
Good evening.
Yeah, I mean, the issue here is it's not just about the Hay Festival. This is, we've got here a sort of mass of virtue signalling. And what I'd like to talk to you about, and I'd like to get your thoughts about the Hay Festival generally, but on a general basis, this kind of strange dynamic where, young people, left-leaning celebrities, their matrix is this, Palestine good, Israel bad. Now, it looks as if Nish Kumar, Charlotte Church and these various politicians have succeeded in persuading the Hay Festival to sever links with Baillie Gifford, which was one of their big sponsors, and their only crime of Baillie Gifford, they're an investment management firm, they have the temerity to invest in Israel. But it looks as if because of this pressure, this celebrity pressure, they've cut links with Baillie Gifford. But this trend is worrying, isn't it? Is Israel bad, Palestine good? Charlotte Church is talking about, your festival isn't more important than Palestinian deaths. Well, what about the deaths of all the people that Hamas killed when they invaded Israel on October the 3rd? These people seem to have forgotten that, don't they?
Yes, October the 7th was a turning point, a major turning point in the region. Never mind voice of an angel with Charlotte Church, I'd say voice of an idiot, because these circumstances prevail among the BDS movement, the boycott, divestment movement. This is absolutely ridiculous. If they're going to go the whole hog and they want a boycott of Israel or anybody investing in Israel, I hope Ms. Church never actually uses a laptop or a computer, because this contains intel, which is Israeli technology. I hope that she certainly doesn't use a mobile phone, because this is made with Israeli technology. The mobile phone was invented in Israel by Motorola in the early 1970s. While we're at it, I hope that she's not suffering from laryngitis at all. I hope she has no ailments, because many of the prescription drugs in this country have been tested and originate in Israel. And we can go even further than this. I hope she doesn't need any exploratory medical intervention, because the pill cam, which is used extensively, which is swallowing a little camera, this is Israeli technology. And just to finish it off, if she's now going to participate in the Hay Festival, I hope she can find her way there without using Waze, which is commonly used, because that was also invented in Israel. This is why the whole situation is so ridiculous.
And why it is, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Baillie Gifford, a very respected company, happens to invest in Israel. A lot of other companies too. Charlotte Church, because of that, is calling the funding of the Hay Festival, because Baillie Gifford are sponsors, dirty money. Dirty money. Why is it dirty? I mean, as I say, she says, oh, your festival isn't more important than Palestinian deaths. According to her, perhaps it's more important than the Israeli deaths after the Hamas invasion. Why is it? I mean, I've never quite understood why it is considered to be left wing to support Palestine and right wing to support Israel. In these circumstances, we're talking about humanity. We're talking about Israel avenging the death of 1,400 innocent citizens. This propensity, this tendency on the part of people like Kumar and Church and young people to conflate Palestine with all that's good and Israel that's all that's bad. I mean, it's a very pernicious tendency that isn't accurate.
Well, why this equivalence now is in effect, I have absolutely no idea. While we're at it, to correct you, there is no such place actually as Palestine at the moment. It's
Sorry,
the
yeah.
Palestinian territories. Very few countries actually recognize that there is a state of Palestine. So as a newspaper, we will always refer to the Palestinian territories. Somehow it's considered fashionable. I mean, students for years, for decades, for as long as anybody can remember, identify with causes with which actually they have no identity. They have no reason to be doing so. It's just fashionable to do so and fun. And then we have the renter mob who will protest against anything that seems fashionable and interesting and can cause as much mayhem on the streets as possible. But whether anybody cares, certainly whether Israel cares that what Charlotte Church has got to say is another matter.
I've never cared what Charlotte Church has to say, and still less do I care what Nish Kumar had to say. I don't know if you ever saw the MASH report. It was an absolute crime against comedy. So in some ways, the people at the Hay Festival have got a lucky break. They don't have to put up with Nish Kumar. But I don't know if you saw, Paul, last Thursday, I think it was, there was a real kind of kickback against all of this. Now, there's a cinema in North London called the Phoenix Cinema, and these Palestinians, these pro-Palestinians, turned up with their flags and the River to the Sea banners. And what this cinema was about to do was to screen a documentary about the Nova Music Festival, where those poor kids were massacred by Hamas on October the 7th. And of course the censorship mob from the Muslim community all turned up saying, you can't show this film, you can't show this film. And then they're all outside, having the run of the place as they're used to. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, about 2,000 not just Israeli supporters, just people supporting the Israeli cause, turned up and said, you're not going to do this. You are not going to do this. And the cinema, to its credit, played the film, which, by the way, Charlotte Church should watch. It would educate her a bit. And the Muslim protesters turned tail and ran for it because they were outnumbered. I just sort of suspect, Paul, that there is a bit of a backlash going on. I refer you to the Eurovision Song Contest the other week, where, contrary to what all the organisers wanted, when the public got to vote for the Israeli singer and that rather good song, it was a good song, they vaulted her into fifth position. Even though the official voters had done their level best not to vote for the Israeli singer, the public did. So all I'm saying is, think about this demonstration last week, which was extraordinary to see, and what's going on with the Eurovision Song Contest. What I'm saying is, when you see these these demonstrations snaking through the city, I don't think they're representative of what the maybe not even the majority view is in this country. I think most people still remember what happened on October the 7th, and they understand what's going on in Gaza.
Well, the footage from the Supernova Festival, some of it has been shown on mainstream TV now. Not all of it, because some of it is too horrific to be screened for a general audience. Although I understand that we may be seeing more of it. Anybody who has seen this, and I've seen the unexpurgated film, which is horrendous. I mean, I've spoken about this on this station several times. To see somebody being beheaded by Hamas terrorists, and when they failed to get their head off initially, to use a spade to finish the job and then play football with the head
Oh,
and take it back to Gaza to display as a trophy. Uh, when you see this sort of thing, when you see people being burnt alive, when you see a father being killed in front of his children, and when you see the footage, as I have, of a mother having fetus cut out, or a prospective mother having the fetus cut out of her abdomen, fetus shot and the mother then killed. Uh, the more people actually can see of this, maybe they will understand why Israel is doing what it is in Gaza, and understand also that there will be errors. This is a war. Israel has held its hands up this evening and apologized for this terrible error in which 30 odd people have been killed, but this is a war. And while Hamas insists on embedding itself in civilian areas, this is going to happen, and it's going to happen over and over again. Nobody blamed Britain, nobody blamed America when there was friendly fire. People were killed with friendly fire. Look at Vietnam, look at other situations. But as you say, it's either Palestinian good or Israel bad. But I mean, Israel have suffered this over millennia. It's nothing new. Jews have always been persecuted in this way.
yeah, it's just a shame to see the likes of Charlotte Church, Nish Kumar, and all these politicians jumping aboard the virtue signalling express. But as I say, I think their virtue signalling is warped, as you say, Paul. They should watch this documentary. They should watch some of this footage, and then perhaps they might start caring about some of the Jewish deaths, some of the Israeli deaths that happened on October the 7th. I'm not saying that you shouldn't care about people, Palestinians dying and all the kids dying and the women. You should care about that, but for God's sake, care about what happened on October the 7th. Paul, excellent to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for your time. Paul Harris there, editor of the Jewish Telegraph. He's got a point, hasn't he? Let me know what you think about this.